Joe Biden.
Shalom. I want to give all praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elder apostle of Great Millstone for giving us teachings of the wisdom of the scriptures. Peace and salutation to those for the elect, and shalom to all Israel Achim across the globe, spreading this truth, and honesty and sincerity. Now, what you just saw was this video from this fat slob, I think his name is Abilene Cowboy Shooter. I don't know. I got it from Twitter. And the post, it had something in the direction of while we're out here planning freakniks, this is what these so-called white people do. Now that fat slob you see on the screen, and then you saw in the video, he was doing some shooting practices or some tournament, I think, whatever, some shootout, some sports event, Now the title from the person that had it on Twitter is very correct, because I don't know about all this freaknik shit. Basically freaknik was just some picnic with freaks. The name is in it. I don't know if it's still on. There's a whole lot of it been going on the last couple of days. Supposedly there's gonna be some documentary, and there's some Jake females that don't want it to come out because of the freak shit that they did when they was in their teenage age, and now they're mothers. I don't know about all that. I don't care about it also. But yeah, the person was right, man, saying that, because let's go to the it's in the curses, man. It's in the curses, when the time of Jacob trouble comes, and it will come. Let me see if we can find it quick. Right. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Now, basically, to get to the kingdom of heaven, the nation of Israel, which is here referred to as Jacob, they need to go through a deep valley, basically, a deep valley. Now, the hopeful elect is going to be the hopeful elect. They're going to be, in the chariots looking down while the world is going to be destroyed. The sea of mingled glass, But the 2/3, the Jacob descendants that don't want to hearken unto their Heavenly Father's word, that are too wicked, to make it into the kingdom alive. They are supposed to die on this side of the the kingdom of heaven, and then come back as babies in the kingdom of heaven, in their right mind, with their right bodies, and then they're gonna be all right. But that day is coming, man. the time of Jacob's trouble. You know, like back in the 70 AD, with the Jewish wars, you know, they were surrounding Jerusalem and surrounding cities, and all types of things happened there, man. To the point that people started eating their belts, their dogs, their cats, and even their own babies or their own people, man. Cannibalism, all right? And the day is very near, you know. If you don't pay attention to what's happening on the planet, and you just get into some freaknik shit, or the NBA playoffs, or whatever kind of football there's on the television, or what kind of, you know, movies or series, you're missing a whole lot of shit. You know, if you don't watch the news channels, and not even BBC or CNN or the Dutch broadcast channels. Nah, I'm talking about the so-called independent media. Go watch Alice Jones for some time. Go watch Redacted and see what's happening in the world right now, man. I bet you a second CV-19, Windows 19 plandemic is going to be very, you know, crucial for the, you know, it's going to be death to a whole lot of people, which it already is, because it says that 70% of the people that has been they had the jump shot, because I cannot say it as it is, because they're gonna, you know, flag the video or take it off. The 70% of the people that has been, that had a jump shot, you know, when they put the needle in you, and they say now you're cool for the Windows 19 virus. 70% of those people that have those shots 2 times is dead in the UK. And I bet you that counts for the USA, that counts for France, Germany, Holland, you know. But that's a whole other direction, man. So yeah, Jacob's trouble, right? And let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. Because that video, you know, if a fat slob like that can shoot guns, reload quick, and keep going shooting, and you know, you heard what he said at the beginning of the video, right? I don't know if you heard it. Let's go there. Yeah? He says, Yippee-ki-yay, Joe Biden. Yippee-ki-yay, Joe Biden. Because according to these rednecks, these right-winged Americans that are very fond of, Trump, Donald Trump, Joe Biden is doing a bad job. He's destroying everything that Trump bettered after the Obama administration. Now, don't get it fucked up. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, fucking Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, you know, every president in the world is playing a role. And it's always to stir up the people, to send them in a certain direction, to give them a feeling that they have freedom, while what they really have is liberty, right? Let's look up that word liberty, man. Now let's go into the Atom Online. Let's look up that word liberty. Free choice, freedom to do as one chooses, freedom from the bondage of sin, civil or political freedom, condition of a free man, absence of restraint, permission. Alright? So those two will do it right there, man. Civil or political freedom and absence of permission. Basically, the word freedom, the word liberty, it tells you that You're not free in your choices. You are free in the choices they gave you. They gave us. All right. I always compare it to people that listen to the radio. I mean, if you listen to the radio for your music, then you're not really a music lover. All right. If you really love music, you dig up your own music. You go looking for it. You study a little bit. You look up like, oh, this is Al Green via Wikipedia. Let me see how many albums he dropped. Oh, he dropped so many albums. Okay, let me find out one of them on YouTube or Deezer or fucking what was that shit called? Spotify. Or let me go to a store, which you barely will find nowadays. But let me go to a store, buy a CD of Al Green. All right. But if you listen to the radio, you don't even know about the existence of a guy like Al Green. Well, not if you listen to mainstream radio. There's some channels that play Al Green. But my point is that if you're really a lover of music, you don't listen to the radio, man. You find your own music. And this is the same thing with liberty, man. People think they have a choice, but they're choosing from what the radio is giving them, from what the government is giving them, from what the system is giving them. Look, these are your choices. Go forward. I want you to know. I want to know what your opinion is, what your vision is. But it's like George Carlin said, man. They always disappoint us, and in the end we go. People are going to complain. I don't even have to say us because I'm not the one voting, but speaking as a member of the world population, George Carlin, who died already, that stand-up comedian, one of the best in my opinion. He said it, yeah. People always complain about the choices they make. Because you're stupid enough to put them in the position. You're stupid enough to go to the voting places and vote them into office and shit. Right? But that's what you do, man, because none of these people really have the vision. That one vision that's needed to guide this planet, this world. And that's the philosophy. It's not the philosophy. It's the ways of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's the only good way. His laws are perfect. All right. Let me go to Scripture, man. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. No. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28. 54 come later, man. The Heavenly Father, these are the curses that was given on the nation of Israel, as you might know. The Heavenly Father shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Now that word astonishment, I looked it up earlier. Great surprise, similar amazement, right? Shock, bafflement, bewilderment, perplexity, confusion, disbelief, dismay. So basically, you are in awe, all right? And that word heart right there, that doesn't mean the heart from what people think they feel something from. The heart means the brain, the mind, all right? So in your mind, you're going to be in astonishment of what's happening to you and happening around you. Now, Jake is not built like this. Jake is not built, to go up and destroy other nations. Not yet. It's getting there because Judah is getting roused up. As soon as Judah is roused up, the rest will follow. Judah is the head tribe of the nation of Israel. As soon as these Negroes in the United States of America are going to be rousing up, the rest of the world, so-called Negroes, I have to say, the rest of the world is going to be rising up, the world of Israel. All right? But they are not built like that, only towards their own brother. Let's get that too, man. Salahia. Only towards their own brother, you know? Only towards their own brother. It's also in the curses, so I can stay here. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. And it reads, so that the man that is standing among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Now, to go into that, a very good example of it is 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 6 till 12. And it reads, it's a bit of long, but I'll write it, I'll go into it. You know, this is about King David and Saul. And it came to pass as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul, with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another, and as they played, and said, Saul had slain his 1,000, and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him, and he said, They have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? And Saul eyed David from that day forward. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from the heavenly Father came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played with his hand, as at other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice. And Saul was afraid of David, because the Lord, the heavenly Father, was with him, and was departed from Saul. Alright? So there you have it, man. Jake is very wroth against his own brother when it comes to that. And he's willing to kill his brother. You know the saying what they use, black on black crime. You know, when you talk to these so-called white people, these Edomites, and you talk to them, they say, yeah. You know, when the subject on the matter is like, you know, black on white, crime, evil, why do we hate each other, all that bullshit. You know, then it comes to, yeah, but y'all kill each other too. Look in America. And they are right. They're fucking right. It's a good argument always. It's not a good argument in the ways of why is the police killing Jake, you know. But it's an argument in the whole conversation, in the whole, you know, discussion. Now, that is very clear, you know. They hate each other, you know what I'm saying? Israelites, you know, the William Lynch letter. I remember going in the metro. It still happens from time to time. When you go in the metro, in the subway system of Amsterdam, I remember going in there, stepping into the metro, subway, and you see Jake looking at you like, what the fuck is you? You still see it, man. Dress good, man. Have the things that Jake liked, them Nikes, them jackets, them hats, you know, them rings, the watches, everything. The car. One of the you know, you might sit with the brother. One of the brothers in GMS Holland got a BMW, good BMW. I don't know what name it is, what series or whatever type it is. But when I'm with him in the car, I see the people looking at us, man. Now he's used to it, so he don't see it anymore, basically. But I see it because I'm not used to sitting in a car, and especially a car like that. All right, Salakia. And then you see it. You see the William Lynch letter coming to pass. You see the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54, especially. You see them coming to mind. You see them coming to fruition right in front of your eyes. They look at you like, what the fuck is you, man? You know? But Jake don't have that towards the other nations, not yet, especially Esau, you know, the so-called white man. He's in awe, he's in astonishment of what he's capable of, his blessing. All right? Let's go there, because the blessing of Esau is the sword, the fatness of the earth. Genesis chapter 27, verse 28. And Genesis chapter 27, verse 28. And it reads, it's about the blessing that Esau went, that Jacob supplanted Esau, you know. But Esau being Cain in the reincarnation, it was already written that it had to be, it had to happen, but it had to happen via through Jacob supplanting him. So you can read it up in Genesis chapter 27, but we go right to the point, man. Genesis chapter 27, verse 28. Therefore the heavenly Father give thee of the dew of the heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that cursed thee, and blessed be he that blessed thee. Right? God. So this is that. What I just read is the blessing that went to Jacob. Now Esau coming back from the hunt, finding out that he was supplanted, started crying, and then read on Genesis chapter 27, verse 28. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me even also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said to him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. See, so Esau got that blessing of the sword, of having the world in his power, you know, and he hates us. He hates Jacob, and he don't even know why. But he sure knows that what he saw in recent history is reason enough to grab up arms. And they're doing just that. The video I showed you at the beginning of that fat slob, that's just, you know what I'm saying, that's just this guy. That's just one video. There's plenty of videos about so-called white people teaching the children how to shoot from a young age, teaching the children how to reload guns, how to construct a gun, reconstruct a gun, you know, because that's what they do, man. Because they are preparing for what is coming, because they know it's coming. You know, they feel it also in their heart, in their mind. And even though Esau is an how do you say it, a base man, and his soul is not upright in him, you know, he still feel a certain, he still feel things, all right? So that's what you're gonna have, man. That's what you're gonna have, man. But these things, you know, it might happen, but you know that you know them jakes in the ghetto, them ghettos of America or whatever part of the world, they also have guns. Don't get it twisted. And we might say Esau, yeah, but I've seen in your movies you keep your gun to the side, and you're making fun of it. When you're at the job, you might laugh among people. Also, Esau might between them, and they say, yeah, but I see y'all holding your gun to the side. Like in the movie Menace to Society or whatever kind of movie, them ghetto movies, right? But that's not the case in real life, man. You do have Israelites that went to the army. You do have Israelites that have many bodies, you know, to their name. They killed a whole lot of people. So, you know, us seeing that video doesn't mean that Jake is not also ready to be, you know, do things. But it all stands and falls with Judah. Genesis chapter 49, verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? So in the end of the days, you know, when Jacob's trouble be coming, you know, Ruda will be roused up. And you see that because there's many videos about, these so-called black American, these so-called Negroes doing a whole lot of things against these so-called white people, against these other nations also, the other heathens. Moab, which is them Chinese, So things are happening, but I just wanted to point that out also that, basically the majority of Jacob, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they don't stand a chance when it comes down to this. Because they don't even have the money to buy guns and shit like that. But with that, I'm going to say shalom. It's on to the next. Shalom.